West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, on the Commanding Gen.YAHANNA. Today's topic is getting insight into the kingdom. This is a history class, so what we have to do is go back to see the foreshadowing of the kingdom. During the time of King David and King Solomon. That right there is a forerunner, a pre-blessing of what is to come. Because we were actually at our height at this time. During the time of King David and King Solomon, we was at the height of the blessing, but it's even going to be even more so in Christ. Let's start with, as a matter of fact, we're going to start with Isaiah 60, and we'll start at about verse 22. You have your Bible with you, Warrior?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I want you to go ahead and start to read. This is a continuation from the last week's class. Go ahead.
Isaiah 60 and 22. A little one shall become 1,000.
Wait, let's stop right there. You know, whenever there's a comma, go ahead and stop, and we're gonna go ahead and break that down. Can you, young man, can you give me give me how you perceive that piece of scripture right there?
A little one shall become 1,000. Basically, one shall multiply into many. I mean,
yeah, you own it. Yeah, you own it. How does one multiply into many though?
Reproduction.
Right. And in order for one to be 1,000, what has to happen?
For one to be 1,000?
Yeah. The practice that everybody is frowning upon.
Oh, polygamy.
Yeah, right. Say it loud, huh?
Polygamy.
Right. Yeah. That's how one becomes 1,000. Right. You see what I'm saying? Because what do they say? The fake Israelite group says, no, we got to wait until to go into the kingdom for that. Well, the Bible says the kingdom of God is within you. So, if that's the case, then within me and within everybody in the I.S.U.P.K. is the ability to have more than one wife. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, that's the case.
Right.
And if anybody wants to battle on that, put your questions up. You know what I'm saying? And we'll chop them down and let you know what it really do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's keep reading the word.
And a small one, a strong nation.
It said, wait a minute, a small one. What does that mean? A small one. Notice it said
a small nation.
Yeah, a small one shall become a strong nation. Think about it. A lot of times we got to go back into these stories. That's one of the things. That's why we got to get these stories. You know what I'm saying? That's why we have to understand these stories of the prophets and stuff like that. We have to understand them because that's going to open up the understanding of scriptures like this. You know what I'm saying? Right. A small one. What was King David? A small one. In the shepherd's fold. In the sheepfold with the sheep. With a damn slingshot.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? A little black dude, you know what I'm saying, with a slingshot, you know what I'm saying, and some rocks, taking care of the sheep. He ain't have a sword, none of that. He was a little one. He wasn't even looked at as to become the king. He wasn't even looked at like that. He was just looked at as the little boy, that take care of the sheep. You know what I'm saying? He was damn near like the little janitor of today or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Something that everybody looked at as insignificant.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Go ahead. So now, with that understanding, now read that scripture.
And a small one, a strong nation.
And now, you see that.
I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time.
What does it mean to hasten it?
grow it. I want to say
To do it fast,
do it fast.
to hasten. You know what I'm saying? When it says to hasten something, that means to start to get it happening real fast. That's what it means, to hasten it, to hurry up. You know what I'm saying? Like we say hurry up, back then they said hasten. It meant the same thing. All right, now let's go into 61, Isaiah chapter 61 and verse 1.
Isaiah 61:1. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek.
What does this mean right here? I wonder what the standard of this. Give me something, Warrior.
Good tidings is the gospel, right?
Yeah, that's true.
The gospel.
But we don't want to make it sound Christian though.
Well, I want to say preach like the kingdom to the people.
Right, and to the meek. What does that mean?
Meek. Forgot what that means. Forgot what that means. Go ahead.
That's when we got to use the examples. A lot of times, if you want to know something, a lot of times it's good to look at the examples. It said Moses was the meekest man upon the earth during his day, right?
Is that like
Probably
meek
good.
is like
Look up the definition.
Cut on con. Yeah. So I got, just look up the definition, Warrior.
That makes sure we don't get cut on nothing we do or teach or say
Right.
or believe in.
I knew what it meant, but I just didn't know how to give an example. So it means quiet, gentle, easily imposed on.
No, that's not a good example of that. Read that again.
Quiet, gentle, and
Well,
easily imposed on.
Moses wasn't quiet, because if he's teaching, the words of, the law to everybody, you can't be quiet and do that. But go ahead. A lot of the time, these definitions be, what kind of definition you looking for, Ward? I mean, what type of, dictionary, whatever is that?
Let's see. I mean, it don't give me a specific definition. Let me look up. Let me see.
Because they make it like timid and shy, that's why they try and make it nowadays. The definition nowadays be like timid and, you know what I'm saying? That's not the definition
I
of
want
meek.
to say peak. To me, I want to say that it means like passionate, but I'm about to look it up.
No, that's not really meaning the same thing. It's passionate, Strength, go with strength that is under control, because Moses was a dude that can kick some behind. And if he's giving law to a whole nation, you can't really be like a real quiet man and do that. You got to be loud. They didn't have microphones.
The Bible dictionary, it says mild of temper, soft, gentle, not easily provoked or irritated, yielding, given to forbearance under injuries, appropriately humble.
Now, see, that is a better definition than what you just read. That's a better definition right there. That's a better definition. I like that one a lot better than the one that came with before. Yeah, that's good. That's not directly on it, but it's way better than the one that came before. You know what I'm saying? All right.
He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted.
Who's the brokenhearted?
The brokenhearted. I mean, anybody who's been broken.
Yeah, people that's broken from China. Yeah, Chinese have been broken.
Of course, he's talking to his people.
You had devils that was molested by their fathers or whoever the hell else. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the Lord come to bind them up.
No.
Bind up their hearts.
No, I mean Isaiah. Is speaking to his people. So
right.
It would be.
That's the brokenhearted right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The ones that were destroyed. The ones supposed to be princes of the powers, but are now destroyed. Now sitting in some goddamn jail cell, some damn where, like, damn, all I had was a little joint. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the brokenhearted right there. When he ain't even, his punishment don't even fit the damn crime. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or the dude is wrong in there wrongfully. He's at the wrong place at the wrong goddamn time. He's at the 7-Eleven. Some white man gets killed at 7-Eleven and they nab him up. You know, he's like, man, I'm just we see those stories every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dude did 32. Some guy just did 32 years on a crime that he didn't even commit. You know, and what do? They give him like $1 million, something like that. Or like that's going to cover 32 years of your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, this man, 18, 19 when he got locked up, but now he's like, an old man and everything. All of this portion of his life is gone. He come out, the world is totally different. And he got this little funky little $1 million, but everything's different now, and he's setting that thing in because, at least he learned how to, get by and survive there. Now he's in a whole nother setting now that he's not used to. Because when he was young like that, he didn't have to be he wasn't really out in the work world like that and in the real world. And he didn't have, this and that. He didn't live the life of a married man or nothing like that. Or, he was pretty much just leaving home. You know what I'm saying? And got nabbed up like that. And then now his life is around Jack Mack and cigarette sales. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? All kind of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And his life is confined to that. So now he get out. The world is totally different now. You see what type of, messed up stuff that we got to go through? And he didn't even do the crime. And let me let people in on something. Let me ask a question right quick. When does the criminal life of a black man start?
To the criminal?
Yeah, just give us some thought.
Like, you speaking in literal terms?
The criminal, not with him actually doing a crime, but him being labeled as a criminal.
So when he's born.
There you go. Yeah. Because think about it. When you got a people that's born with zero net worth, right? What is this telling him he got to be? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's born with zero net worth. He's automatically born a criminal. And that's the reason why they can abort so many of our children, before they get born and after they're born and all of that stuff. They can do all of that because you're born a criminal. And if they do these things to criminals and people that are already felons, it's not a crime on their part and they don't have to be charged with murder. You see what I'm saying? Just for being formed in the womb, you're automatically a criminal. So I think we need to lighten up on, our brethren that's out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because, hell, we were born the same goddamn thing. We were born criminals also.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We were born the same thing.
And if I could, that's heavy because even if you a black man today and you go to certain places, like shoot, if you not dressed super creamy or whatever, man, they'll be thinking that they'll treat you like a criminal.
Right.
They'll be thinking, if you got money but you not dressed all like you work in a business suit, they'll think you sell drugs. They'll put that, you'll feel that vibe like, oh, he must be a drug dealer or something, or some type of legal dude or something like that.
Right.
Or you go in the store and they following you around.
Right.
You know what I mean? You there, you got money too. You always here at that store. They still looking at you like, oh, you about to steal something.
Right,
you gotta watch
exactly.
it.
They're thinking you ready to rob somebody, you ready to do something, some type of crime, some category of crime you get ready to do. And this is what we label too. And now think about it. This is one of the grounds for separation. Well, we always bring separation out. You know what I'm saying? From separation, now you're going to be seen as a person. Integration, you're not seen as a person. Just keeping it real. Your children are not seen as people. You know what I'm saying? Any of that. It was an instance that I just saw not too long ago where dude and this woman was walking with their little kid. Some woman come out of nowhere as they walking down the sidewalk and stab the kid in the face. The kid was about 5 years old. Just came out of nowhere and stabbed the kid in the face. You see what I'm saying? Look, they don't give a damn about whether your child, whether the curse they should not show favor to the young or to the old. They don't give a damn about that. They pulling the child right out the woman's goddamn behind and slamming some scissors in the back of his neck. You see what I'm saying? What crime he commit? Oh, but then they said, no, see, he's going to grow up to be a future criminal. Oh, really? He's going to grow up to, he gets stabbed in his neck because he's going to be a future criminal. See this? He don't even know nothing about the world. But they figure he's going to be a future criminal. Kill him. You see what we dealing with? But then, well, we wrong. We're saying that the oppressor is the devil, though, right? We're wrong for that. Think about that for a second. Let's get back to the scripture, though.
To proclaim liberty to the captives.
Wait a minute. Now, who are the captives?
All of us.
Who's all of us?
Everybody is in captivity.
No, we got to be specific. Because you got white people in jail.
I mean, Israel, I would say.
Okay, and who are Israel today?
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right. Yeah, you want to be direct.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we can mess around and say, no, liberty to the captives. Anybody that's in captivity, they can take that and make a movement out of it. And then they start to do something to free the whites and Asians and all of them that are in jail. And who got a say in there if they do that?
You said who got what?
Who has to set in there if they do that?
If they free all the white people?
Yeah, whites and Asians and, that's actually locked up and all of that.
Black people.
Yeah. We got to take one for the team. You know what I'm saying? We the compromise. So we got to be specific. We got to only be about our own. The hell with everybody else. White people have white people to fight for them when they get locked up. Chinese have Chinese. Koreans have Koreans. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we have everybody, I guess, huh? We down for everybody. Can't be like that. Wearing your forces thin. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When we, the people that have no support from anyone else, but then we want to be about everybody. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's uneducated. You see what I'm saying? Let's go back into the scriptures.
In the opening of the prisons to them that are bound.
And to the who's in the prisons and who's bound?
Same people we talk about, blacks, Spanish, Native Indians in prison.
Right. Now let's keep on going.
Locked up. Verse 2, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn.
Comfort all that mourn. Who's mourning? Who's mourning on the earth right now?
Us.
Hey, yeah. And because you have a lot of people that are sit there and trying to argue with that and say, well, no, people are mourning in Africa, people mourning in China, people mourning here, mourning there. Let those same people come here, and they automatically get over us just for them not being us and being here. They don't have to do nothing else. You know what I'm saying? They might work on a job next to you for 5, 10 years maybe. But then they'll get a nail shop. They're going up. and sponsored by America when you can't get American sponsorship. And you've been here 400 years. They've been here 20 years and can get it. It's done on purpose. Not because they're so smart. You say, oh, Asians are smart and they can do this and do that. That's not the reason why. I don't give a damn how smart. We're the smartest people here. Made more inventions than anybody here. And what do? They take the inventions for themselves and they keep us in the same situation. You know what I'm saying? But the Chinese, they have a country also to back them too. You know? So if they do something here, then they get financing from America and their own country, and they're able to be a separate society. You know, all of this stuff over the vote or die and all of that, because we know the 2020 election is coming up here soon.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? The 2020 election is coming up here very soon. And what are they saying to black people again? Vote or die.
Right.
Well, they need to be saying that to the Chinese that they got here in this country. Why aren't they pressuring them to vote?
Right.
The Koreans, the Africans, everybody that, you know, all of these different nations that they have set up here in America, why aren't they going to them, telling them vote or die? But they're telling us that. They're telling us that. For what reason are they doing that? Because we're the slaves. They're not. They're free men. So when you're free, you have the option whether you want to vote or not. But if you're a slave, it's vote or die. You see what I'm saying? That's the option you got. Vote or die, or we're going to lynch your ass. Or we're going to murder you. You don't vote, we're going to kill you. That's what they're saying. How else do they figure you're going to die because you don't vote?
All right.
Think about that for a second. How else do they figure that you're going to die because you don't vote? Oh, really? You're just going to die of lung cancer because you didn't vote?
So I would say that in a way they would say vote or die, or continue to die, continue to be killed. But you know that's
Well, then they have to sit there and say now that's a double-edged sword right there, because now they have to admit that you're dying here and you are the only ones, because they're not telling nobody else that. Why wouldn't they spread this message of love to everyone else?
right.
You know, they care about humanity so much, right? Why don't they go tell the Chinese and all of them vote or die? The only people they coming to bring that to, because they know that we're dying, they said that, so what they're saying is vote or die more than what you're dying right now.
Right.
We'll kill you. It always bounces back to that. We'll kill you if you don't vote. That's what they're saying. Vote or you're going to be lynched. Vote or you're going to be hung. Vote or you're going to be shot by the cops. You'll be shot by the cops anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You vote,
Right.
you'll be shot by the cops. You know what I'm saying?
And in the way they try to get you to vote is to scare you into voting by saying you're going to die if you don't vote.
Right.
You die if you vote anyway.
Right. Exactly. And what it's really saying is vote or we're going to kill you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they're really saying for real. They're trying to muscle us into voting. But back in the day, in the 20s and everything, they try to stop us from voting. You know what I'm saying? They're saying, if you vote, we'll kill you. Now they're saying, vote or we will kill you. You know what I'm saying? Either way, it's saying, we'll kill you. Let's go back to the scriptures. Go into verse 2 and 61.
That was verse 2.
Okay, let's go into verse 3.
Verse 3. To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes.
Beauty for ashes. What does that mean? Give me a little Give me a little something on that. What does it mean? Beauty for ashes in this context, the context right here. Any questions online, Cap?
Just somebody said, "Come on, con, sir, 100% truth."
I'm on for sure.
Oh, okay. Now think about it. In the context of what we're talking about, right? We offer up our poverty mindset, our mindset of being destroyed, and our, you know what I'm saying, the way that we've been doing things and everything, and we offer that up, and we take on the law, statutes, and commandments. Then the beauty comes. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound Christian with it, but we lay down, you know, our sins, right? And then we get the beauty through the law, statutes, commandments, of how we treat one another. You see what I'm saying? How we treat the Most High and how we treat one another. Then the beauty starts to come because there's separation here. The Holy Spirit is a spirit of separation, not a spirit of bringing us together with the whole world. The world is corrupt. Am I wrong? See what I'm saying? Oh, the Lord, you know, He poured out His Spirit so we can be joined with Buddha and, you know, and the Hindus and all of that, right? No, to separate us from the Hindus and the Buddhists, from the Christians. You see what I'm saying? The Holy Spirit is a spirit that separates, not bring together. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question.
Come.
So, what should you say to a Christian who says they're gonna die and go to heaven?
Well, for one thing, they don't know they don't even know what heaven is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So that means heaven is coming to earth.
Right.
So, but here's the funny thing about that: with people that ask questions, you know, people that ask questions like that, they don't even know. It's funny because they'll come to the knowledge that we Israelites and they'll run over to Jerusalem. Are they really running to Jerusalem because that's the Holy Land, because it's the land of the Lord? I don't believe so. Let me tell you why. Because when they make these trips to Jerusalem, it'd be 7 black women out of 10. 7 of them is out of 10 black people. 7 of them is black women. You know what I'm saying? And they running over there to be, you know, around the Jewish people and the Israelis and all of that. They going over there for that. Same reason why, you know, black women join the military. You know, that's another topic right there. Yeah, they join the military for the same goddamn reason, because they know the military is over in the Middle East. When it was goddamn Vietnam War, how many black women was trying to go over to that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They weren't trying to go into the goddamn jungle. They weren't, you know, and be hit by them damn malaria mosquitoes and all that. They weren't trying to do none of that. But now they, you know, you got that Jewish man over in the Middle East. And here they ass come. You know what I'm saying? You know. Anything else, Cap?
Somebody said Enoch Ahaya said, after you finish your class, I need to speak with you. Shalom.
Oh, I think that's my cousin right there.
Yeah,
Well, he needs to drop. Yeah, he needs to drop that. What did he say the name was again?
Enoch Ahaya.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds very GOCC-ish right there. You know. Yeah, he needs because he needs to leave off of that. He been dealing with me too long. You know what I'm saying? You know, to still be carrying that type of title, but you know, I'll chop it up with him. Can you tell him you need to send me your number, your phone number and everything. I think me and Cuz is friends on Facebook. Yeah, but anything else, Cap?
No, the only other question was, with the topic was, what will heaven be like?
We get ready to go into that. Yeah, I like that question because that question is right on this class. You know what I'm saying? Let's go right into that. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead into the verse 3. We go ahead and go into the verse 3.
All right, verse 3. Oh, yes. The oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness.
Look at this. What does that mean? The garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. I done heard Christians come with this scripture right here.
The garment of praise.
They think it's talking about, going into the church and, you know what I'm saying, and,
Right.
and all of that. They think, you know what I'm saying, and then a huck a bucket and doing a little chicken wing and all of that. They think that's what it is.
Two-step.
Yeah, all of that stuff. They in the church sea walking and, they think that's what it is, Read that part again.
The oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness.
Yes, say it loud and powerful, Warrior.
The oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness.
Right, okay, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Because what is the garment of praise? Let me tell you what the garment of praise is. We're going to be clothed with the fact that, man, they ain't ruling over us no more. We's freeze. You know what I'm saying? They ain't ruling over us no more. You know what I'm saying? These same people that been cleaning our clocks, niggas is going to be happy as hell. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is going to be like, oh, well, they ain't ruling over us no more. We ain't got to go to them to get a marriage license or none of that. We ain't got to do none of that. Oh, for real? Now, what type of spirit is that going to start to put black people into? In the spirit of praise. Now we're going to see the praise. Praise got to be rooted out of something. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be rooted out of something. People in the Christian church, they act like they praising, but really they just entertaining the pastor and entertaining the onlookers and all of that. That's why all that damn entertainers come from the Christian church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I got another question with that. So what if they rule, we in rulership, what if there's some black people who don't want to rule over white people?
Well, here's the thing. There was black people that didn't want to rule over the Egyptians during the time of Moses.
Wait, say that again?
There was black people that did not want to rule over the Egyptians or anybody else during the time of Moses. The ones that wanted to go back to Egypt.
Oh, okay.
If you don't want to rule over the Egyptians, then you wanted to go back to Egypt. It was just that cut and dry. What happened to them? Can you tell me, young man?
You said the ones.
What happened to the ones that
died.
didn't want to rule over the Egyptians? What happened to them? There you go.
So would there be enough?
Because see, here's the thing. Give me a second, Warrior. Because here's the thing. The ones that don't want to rule over the Egyptians, it's not good enough that they don't want to rule over them personally. They don't want you to either.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? That's the problem. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
The Lord will look at it differently if a person said, well, I don't want to rule over anybody. But then at the same time, he's like, well, if you want to rule over them, that's cool. That's just you. And he left it at that. All right, fine. That dude's family will just go into servitude or wherever the hell the goddamn case is. You know what I'm saying? And they'll just be poor or whatever. They'll be loved as brothers and stuff like that. But that's not the case. They'll say, just like with brothers that teach one wife, they'll say, I want only one wife. But see, they won't stop there. They'll say, you should only want one wife too. And he should only want one wife. Him. All of these men should only want one wife. You see what I'm saying? That's a problem. So what happens to a man like that? Those type of men didn't make it into the kingdom. Those were the men that walked around in the wilderness for 40 years and died off. You see what I'm saying? Those are men that were not trying to advance. Go ahead.
I would say, was the question more like when we get to the kingdom, if you want to choose to have slaves, or like you okay with having slaves, but if you don't want a slave, you don't gotta have a slave. Kind of like if you want to have multiple wives, you can have them, but if you don't, you can choose to have.
I mean, hell, here's the thing. If you choose to only have one wife, that's your personal choice. But if you teach others, this is what you should do.
I see what you're saying. I got you.
And all of you, and then because what's going to happen is you're going to develop a hatred for a man that has two wives. You're going to hate him, and you're not going to want him around you, around anybody that follows what you teach. That's the reason why groups like the Purple Punks, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why they won't accept a man in if he comes in with two wives. They'll make him divorce one of his wives. And what does the Bible say about a man that put away his wife? He causes her to commit adultery. So they would rather that man be an adulterer. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. To come in, put one wife away and be an adulterer and be with them, than for him to have two wives and be there inside with them. You know what I'm saying? You see the wickedness in that?
Right.
So part of with the question, so the people that don't want to rule over the white man, they won't make it into the kingdom?
Well, they can make it in, but here's the thing. Their wickedness will come forward. Because like I just said, if a man have, if he doesn't want to rule over them and all of that, what's on the flip side of that? Let me tell you what's on the flip side. He would rather you be serving them. He would rather you be a slave, and he will be called what in this kingdom? What is he called in this kingdom we live in right now? What is that kind of man called among people that know things? He's called a coon. Mm-hmm. The man that don't want his children to rule over the oppressors, that nigga's a coon.
So what's going to happen to him, though?
Death. That's what's going to happen.
Who's going to kill him?
Tell you the truth, I mean, hell, a rock could fall on his goddamn head. You know what I'm saying? Somehow it's going to go bad. You know what I'm saying? Let me think of an example. When we go into the book of Maccabees, there was coons in the book of Maccabees during the time where we were warned against the Greeks. What were we warned for? We were warned for the kingdom, right? Those men, wickedness was made manifest. And what happened? And said it, and they smote sinful men of Israel. The Negroes that was coons had to go. And that's under the command, that's under the Lord right there. That's under the commandment of the Lord. The niggas that was coons had to go.
You have a good precept for that?
Let me grab the Apocrypha. Let me get the Apocrypha over there, warrior. It should be on that table over there.
Red book. What I'm doing, young man, is showing you how to ask questions. You don't be asking questions like, you know what I mean? Like you gotta get deep into the question to really get an understanding. You know what I mean? Like there's no question that's like, you wrong for asking that question, or if anything we say, you say, well, what's the precept on that? So you can prove it. You see what I'm saying? We prove everything with precepts.
Well, I mean, I had no question because it's like I'm trying to see where like he's going, like even like with the scripture. I'm trying to see because like from my understanding of the kingdom based on what Jesus taught and everything, it's pretty straightforward in my head. So I'm just like,
you're just soaking it in.
Yeah, I'm just soaking it in and see what see what he's bringing out as far as some insight or something that I don't know. So yeah, but that's a good question.
Yeah, well, that's what you want to do. You want to have a paper and pencil, And this is what I always do when I'm in class with a man over me and stuff like that. I always think of a question that, because I watch the online class all the time, you can't always get your question. But if I'm ever in the class with a man over me, like, you know, which is rare, shoot, I think of a question that seemed like super hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like if maybe he'd be like, well, shoot, I got to go upstairs to get that question. I got to go to the, you know, to the generals and find out the answer to that question. I always look forward to that type of question.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's why I know the whole breakdown of Revelations now. Because when I first started doing it, it always led me to Revelations. You know what I mean? Like, what's a real hard question? Somehow I end up back in Revelations. Like, you know, I'm gonna ask me this question about this scripture here, Revelations. 7 heads and a dragon or something, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And I see those are some good hard questions right there.
Yeah, but now I know all
challenging.
Revelations now.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Revelations is one of the books that people have been stumbling over for hundreds of years. That's crazy because I.S.U.P.K got it. Who the hell can say that we ain't the people of the Lord? We the only people that can break down Revelations.
Right.
First Maccabees, chapter 2, and I want to start a couple of verses up, though. 2 and 42. You got an apocryphal there, boy? Okay. 2 and 42. We'll start there.
Myself now. I got some precepts I want to pull too now.
Good.
First Maccabees 2 and 42. Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians.
Okay. Now these Assyrians, these weren't like Assyrians or no heathens or nothing. These are actually Israelites. Go ahead.
Who were mighty men of Israel, even all such as were voluntary, devoted unto the law.
Right. Unto what?
The law.
Okay. Now think about it. You know, with the people that we was just talking about, right? Those ones that don't want to rule over the oppressors.
All right.
If they don't want to rule over the oppressors, then they don't love their children. You know what I'm saying? And don't this law also say to love thy neighbor as I love thyself?
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to love your kids too because they're also your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want them in rulership, then obviously you're breaking that law, ain't you?
Right.
Now let's keep reading.
Also, they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them, and were a
Read loud, warrior.
And were a stay unto them.
Go ahead.
So they that joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger.
You see this? What kind of sinful men were these? These were men that didn't want to rule over the Greeks, that loved the Greeks. They loved the Greek ways.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? They were the men that wanted to, join in the Olympic Games and all of that. You know, they wanted to do all of that. These were the men that loved the Greeks. Go ahead. And where did they run to for secure? They ran to the Greeks, whom they loved already. And those are the same type men that say, well, I don't want to rule. I'm not the king of the jungle. I just live here. Those are those kind of dudes. You know what I'm saying? This is what this leads to. And so when you look at any brother, you know what I'm saying, that say, man, I just don't want to rule over nobody. I don't want to rule over nobody, but he didn't give a damn to be ruled over, did he? And he didn't give a damn about his sons being ruled over. He raised his sons and all of that to be ruled over. So he showed what side he's playing on, just like these dudes show what team they was playing on. You know what I'm saying? So what you do to the enemy on the opposing team. Let's read it and see. Go take it from the top of 44.
So they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger.
There you go. Go ahead.
And wicked men in their wrath.
Yeah.
But the rest fled to the heathen for
Secure means that
Secure.
there's security. There you go. So if you got somebody to say, well, I don't want to rule. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying go out and smite him. He could change. Once he figure out the reason why he should rule, he could change. But once he figure out the reason, and then he still don't want to, he's still talking about, I don't want to rule over nobody. Well, that dude didn't give a damn about his people being ruled over by nobody, his daddy being ruled over by nobody, his brothers, his sons, his daughters, you know what I'm saying? Any of that.
I got a question for the young man. Do you know a precept that says that Christ wants us to rule over the other nations?
that Christ wants us to rule over the other nations.
Yeah. You know a precept for that, to prove that?
So like in the New Testament.
Yeah. Even though Christ is in the Old Testament too, but yeah, but you could get pulled in the New Testament. There's a precept in the scriptures that talk about Christ wants us to rule over the other nations.
Right.
So who are we to deny Jesus Christ?
Right.
The scriptures does say every knee shall bow, doesn't it? And every
Right.
tongue shall confess.
Yeah, we want to do the will of the Lord, right? The will of the Lord is you rule in.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to rule in. Well, you don't want to do the will of the Lord.
So what's the scripture though? Do you have in mind an idea? Give you a second to think of something. If you have one too, Charles, you probably pull it too.
That's what this class is going to be about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go back into the you know what I'm saying, into the scriptures before we run out of time.
I'll give you a hint. There's multiple of them in Revelations. In red too. So you know it's Christ speaking. It's the same battle we had on the radio station the first day with the white dude. He said, so that y'all entitled to the kingdom of heaven just because you're black? He said, then what'd you ask him, Trop? He said, so what entitles y'all to rule right now?
Right. He's like, well, that's a very good question.
Then another thing, why shouldn't the righteous rule?
So why shouldn't?
Yeah, why shouldn't the righteous rule? But you just keep finding your scripture. I was just bringing that out for the people online. Give you 2 more. Give you 30 more seconds. 10 more seconds.
This I don't know if this is pertaining to the same thing, but
Go ahead.
um, oh, okay, this is not it.
Yeah, see, this is the level we got to get to where we can prove all
Right.
things and prove, you know what I mean, through the
Right.
scriptures and the Spirit of the Lord that, you know, our case. Shoot, we'll mess around and talk ourselves into the kingdom, into power. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the scriptures say we will. About foolishness of
right.
preaching.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, hardcore questions.
Let's get it's in Revelation chapter 2, verse 26. Revelations 2 and 26. Go ahead, read that.
Revelations 2 and 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him I will give the power over the nation.
Right there.
Perfect.
Power over the what?
Nations.
Nations with an S.
Right.
Power over the nations. Go ahead.
And he shall rule them.
He shall what?
He shall rule them.
I don't want to rule. He shall what?
He shall rule them.
I don't think we should be above whites and white, or whites should be above us. I think we should be equal.
Right.
What's it say?
And he shall rule them with
Uh-huh.
a rod of iron.
He shall rule them with a rod of iron. This is Christ speaking. Now,
Oh.
who should you follow? God or man?
Sir, but Will,
Go ahead.
interject right quick. Now notice, it said he shall rule them with a rod of iron. A rod is used for discipline.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they had used to have the whipping sticks and stuff back in the day too. They hit somebody over the back with it. You know what I'm saying? Now think about it. With the rod of iron, though, the whipping stick of wood breaks the flesh. You know what I'm saying? But the one of iron breaks bones and breaks the strength. You know what I'm saying, of the nation that you hit with that rod of iron. So what is it? Read that part again.
The last part. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
With the rod of what?
Iron.
Say that strong. A rod of iron. You know what I'm saying? How can you look at that any different way? You know what I'm saying? How can you look at that through a peaceful, pleasant way? Skipping through the field of daisies and lilies. You can't look at it that way. You can't look at it nowhere near that. A rod of iron. So what does that mean? If they transgress, what happens? What happens to them if they transgress?
They get this.
No, you got to, come on, let's be a little more specific with it.
Yeah, you want to use the same words that's in the scriptures. Because then I'll say, no, it don't say be disciplined. It says they're going to be ruled with a rod of iron. Be hit with iron. Hit with a rod of iron. Use the same words as the scriptures say. Can't be cut that way.
With the what?
So what does the iron represent?
I just told you. The iron, now think about it. An iron weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't iron, whatever place has the most iron.
I got you.
That means you got the strongest force.
So it represents
as far as
whatever,
with might.
whatever
Yes.
weapon.
The rod of iron. And then, like I just mentioned, the rod of iron can break bones. You hit a nigga with a wooden stick, it'll hurt. But you hit him with a damn pole of iron and you start to crack his, bones and stuff like that. Right?
Right.
Crack the bones, you break the strength. It said he will rule over them with a rod of iron. So that means when the country mess up, what happens? They get hit with that rod of iron. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no peace and love and lilies and all of that.
I got a question. If God is a loving God, why would he accept this then?
Well, here's the thing about it. He accepted his own people going up under the rod of iron, right? We've been up under the rod and the yoke of iron up under the white man.
Right, right.
So when his people come back to our, to what we do, the law, statutes, commandments, and we start to, be the people of the Lord, now that whole thing turns up on them. So now they got to go through it. Up under us. It's only fair.
Right.
It's only fair.
Just.
Yes.
Just right there.
Exactly.
I got a question.
Cut.
But since he is all love, why would he let us go into all that punishment? Why he let us get hit with a rod of iron? Just to hit them with a rod of iron.
Well, because he is love and he keeps his word. Because he wants a people that's going to glorify him. Even if his own people got to be destroyed, he wants that people to, to glorify him. So when it all breaks down, if there's this many and he has to destroy this many and reduce it down to that many and save that many, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Most High is. You know what I'm saying? If he has to destroy, hell, you go back into the wilderness. With how many people made it actually into the land of Canaan? That was from the old generation. No, it was two.
It was two.
Out of all of those people,
Right.
two. You know what I'm saying? It was Joshua and Caleb. And they became the military leaders. You know what I'm saying? The Most High wiped every damn body out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then we came into the land and became populous in the land. And went to war and so on and so forth.
I got a question. What's the precept? Oh, you got your hand up? Oh, no. What's the precept that says that God is like that?
Like what?
Like he let people be punished and he wants to kill them and this and that.
Okay. Hell. Thing is, let me go to. Thing is, the Exodus. What was it? 15:3. But what I'm saying, when it talks about our God is, the Lord is a man of war. But it's also another one too that I think be a little more dead on. I think it's like Deuteronomy when it talks about putting iniquity upon the children.
Yeah, I know that one. I know one that's even better in the Apocrypha too. Let's see if I can pull it. I got one too.
Cut.
You know a precept that says that, man?
You looking for one, man?
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think it's Deuteronomy 10. I think it is. 5. Can you repeat the question again, Cal?
What's a precept that says the Lord is like that as far as like being mean and evil, or not, but mean and like want us to be punished and stuff like that?
Okay. I got one. Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 9. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Which one you got, young man, Tyron?
Proverbs 3 and 11.
It's here.
My son, despise not the chastising of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father and a son whom he delighteth. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom. I think that was it.
God. God, those is good precepts. But how is he correcting them if he killed them?
Well, because the Most High sees everything as a nation. You know.
You said, how is he correcting them if he kills them?
Yeah.
But he loves them?
God.
Hell, I can put that, in the lives of some brothers in U.P.K. A lot of us have been through a lot of stuff.
Right.
The Most High had to kill something, believe that.
What
was you gonna say in that?
I can give you an example. I'm trying to find a verse for it.
Well, just say it for now. See that?
So since God is a just God, if he set up, laws, once he set up laws and judgments for you, and you transgress him or you go against him, he is just, and he has to go through with his word. If he goes against his word, well, God wouldn't go against his word, so him pushing forth judgment upon you is him keeping his word, and that's love. Even though like right. him having mercy on you and giving us a second chances of that's mercy, and but him also going through with his judgments would be him keeping his words if you transgress his laws, and yeah.
Shit, we got an example of that. When King David, took Bathsheba and everything.
So basically, yep. If I could, the question. So now I got another question. So basically, y'all saying God just made us just so we could listen and do what He said.
To do what He said?
Exactly.
He made us to do what He said.
Yeah, that's the question I'm asking.
I would say yes. Not for that specific purpose, but
precept. It's precept that says
that we are made to do what He said.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to say that's the purpose, but I'm saying that's what we have to do.
No, this is.
It's the purpose. It's the precept that says that we are made to do what He says.
So that's our only purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the reason He made us.
I know the precept for that.
He made us. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if you do. If you're online, y'all can type in the precept too. Y'all got one.
I got one. Proverbs 16:4.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
Go ahead if you got it, read it.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
That's one of them. That's one of them. That's definitely one of them. There's another one too. It's even stronger. Well, it's not even stronger. I say it's just as strong. But
Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 4. The Lord has made all things for himself.
Mm.
Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Mm.
Everyone that is proud in his heart is an abominable. Okay, they're going to something else. But I mean, damn, that's a dead ringer right there.
That's good.
You
What I
know,
got is Revelation 4 and 4 and 11. Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. That's the whole reason we're here.
Right.
To please the Most
That's
High.
it.
See, please the Most High.
All right.
The whole reason. So if you don't please him, is he wrong for punishing you for not pleasing him?
No.
Why not?
He created you.
But that's messed up. He didn't create. We didn't ask to be here. Why is he at the? That's wrong. What's the precept to say? It should seem like that's wrong for him to punish you to not doing what he wanted you to do, and you didn't even want to be here in the first place.
In that same wording.
We didn't even know it want before we got here.
right.
You know,
That's a good point.
we didn't even want know it want, or need, or any of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But what would you say to the person that says that's wrong? That sounds wrong. That he punishing you for not doing what he wants you to do, but you didn't agree to do it, or you didn't want to do it.
Okay, I got one.
I'd give him precept. I mean, it wouldn't say that exact way, but I got one. All right. Romans 9 and 20.
Go ahead.
Nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against God? Shall the thing that formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made thus?
That's what I was gonna go to.
Has not the potter power over the clay, over the same lump, to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if God, willing to shew his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessel of wrath fitted to destruction? So that's a clear example.
Yeah. You say, you know, can the thing that's formed say, why you made me like this? You know, you can't say that.
Right, like who are you to ask God or to say to God, like, why did you make me? Or I didn't ask to be made, or I didn't like. Who are you to tell me that I made you?
Right.
That's a clear example right there.
All right, that's definitely good. Somebody have questions and stuff. Somebody said, okay, heaven is a white man's lie. We predate the Israelites, the Hebrews, and any other group or religion created to keep us blind and confused. We are gods. Then he said, the precept is that the white man knew we would figure out, we would wake up. So he made himself both God and the devil, condemning us if we gain the understanding that he is full of shit.
Okay.
Talking about them. The Moors? They're like Moors people?
And he said that was his, precept.
Oh.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said the precept is that the white man knew we would figure out, we would wake up. So he made himself both God and the devil, condemning us if we gain the understanding that he is full of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what he's pretty much trying to say is the Bible is a white man's book. Is what he's trying to say. And we can kill that, easily. If the Bible is a white man's book, then why are all the people in the Bible black?
Right.
I mean, simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Why is all the people in the Bible black? The white man he would want to blot that out. You know what I'm saying? Because that is a super, super duper blow to white supremacy. If you leave all the people in this Bible black, right? Well, the people in the Bible are black. Give me Jeremiah 14:2. Young man,
Yes, sir.
give me Jeremiah 14:2.
Jeremiah 14:2.
Right.
Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourneth at the gates thereof language. They are black unto the ground.
Wait a minute. They're what?
Black unto the ground.
Simple stuff right here. Spell black one time, boy.
BLACK.
Why would he leave that if this is a white man's book?
Right.
Why would he leave that there? He said Judah mourneth, right?
Right.
They are black unto the ground.
The question he said that the Bible is a white man's book.
Well, what he was insinuating is, that the Bible is a white man's book.
Oh, okay.
Can you read the question that he asked again, Cap? So you get it real good to see what he was asking.
He said some more stuff. If you want to get that also later or something.
Cuddle Kai.
You want the last thing he said?
Cuddle Kai.
He said, the precept is that the white man knew we would figure out, we would wake up. So he made himself both God and the devil, condemning us if we gain the understanding that he is full of shit.
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Second thing he said, if you want it.
Cuddle Kai.
He said, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are not native names to the Middle East.
Well, here's the thing. Of course they're not. But here's the thing about it. What names did we want to take on and everything once we was in their lands? We always love to take on heathen names. You know what I'm saying? We always like to take on Greek names because hell, everybody wanted to be Greek, including us. That's why we got into the Olympic Games and all that. That's why we in the Olympic goddamn games right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who the Olympic gold medalists in boxing and all of that? It's us. Right. You know what I'm saying? We always like to take on heathen stuff, but that doesn't stop, who the people are. Just like, people say Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Who was ruling during that time? The Romans. And everybody wanted to be like Rome. And what did we start to do? We started to leave off names like, Kapash, and names like, Yawasop, and names like, we started to leave off that,
Right.
And started to take on names like John, Mark, Luke, James.
He also said, or he or she, I think it's a he said, black is a color, not a race or a creed.
Well, that's true. But we say black so that we can identify, so we can, people will understand what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? The Bible say, talk about being wise as serpents and gentle as doves. Serpents have subtlety to them and everything. So we say, black people, black, Hispanics, Native Indians, even though that was not our original names. But we say that and people know who we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? If we sit there and say, Israel, Judah, Issachar, such and such people really not speaking that language too much. They don't know who is he talking about. You know what I'm saying? You will be speaking a strange tongue now. You know what I'm saying?
And he said, the name's White Daddy forced us to.
Can you say that again?
The name's White Daddy forced us to.
The name's White Daddy? Is that what he said?
Yeah, forced us to.
The name's White Daddy.
Like Matthew, Luke, and John, they forced us to those names.
During that time, we wasn't really forced into that. We took that on wanting to be like the Romans, as I just explained. We was forced into that when we come to America and all that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We was forced into it then. You know what I'm saying? here's the thing. This is how the Lord, get us a lot of the times, because we'll see somebody and we'll take on their stuff and we'll do it by choice at first. But once they start ruling over us, and then you have to be like, oh, damn, we messed up. We don't want to take on this and that. They're like, no, now you got to. And then they start cutting your head off. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Now they force you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Against your will. And those that don't want to do it, get their eyes burnt out, their heads cut off, and all of that stuff. That's why it's good to see the stuff coming and not want to take on the ways of the heathen. And anybody, what's that brother's name?
Nishi Opil. Something weird like that.
Okay, I don't know what type. I thought he was one of them Israelite brothers. If you're Israelite, you need to shake that off too.
What is that?
Because a lot of brothers call themselves Yisrael instead of Israel. And then they take on the Yiddish and all of that. Just think about it. What would happen if the Lord made a situation to where now, you find out that ain't the right Hebrew, but then you want to learn the right Hebrew, but then they say, no, nigga, you got to learn Yiddish. And then it's cut your head off if you ain't doing Yiddish. You know what I'm saying? It's best to get on the right team, you know what I'm saying, from the start.
He said, white daddy, meaning slave master, forced us to take names through colonizing, which happened before we got here.
We wanted those names, to be honest with you. The force a lot of times happens behind us wanting to take on that at first, because we be all docile and we be all, trying to flirt with every other nation and all of that. And then that nation dropped a hammer on us. You know what I'm saying? Now it becomes a forced action now. Like everything that they start, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They started out as something that's, you know what I'm saying, cool and everything, or choice and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But then it becomes solid, like boom, now you gotta do it. That's the situation we always was in,
All right.
With the Babylonians, it's the same thing. We decided we want to flirt with the Babylonian gods.
He said he wanted to speak vocally, and I put the number in the chat. He ain't called in.
Well, you need to go ahead and just call on in, you know what I'm saying? And just, and get all his questions answered.
Got a question.
Go ahead.
So in the kingdom, right? Christ said he came to preach the kingdom. That's his reason why he came.
Right.
Now, was that speaking in why he came to earth, or why he came to whatever city he was in?
That's why he came to earth, because then the scriptures say that the earth, the earth, is given to the people of the Lord. I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
We ain't just gonna have one city. We're gonna have global domination.
Right.
That's what we're gonna have.
So we basically, the kingdom of heaven is more, it's more like, I don't want to say spiritual, but I don't want to put it in that way. I want to put it more like just the things that he was teaching out of the law. It seemed like the things that he was teaching, the principles he was teaching, came from the law, and that kind of was like what made the earth the kingdom. Like he said, he came to bring the kingdom, but in all the things that he taught the kingdom to his people, and the things that he was teaching were basically from the law. So is that what basically you want originally? Like the kingdom's supposed to be like us keeping the law, and
yes, but with us keeping the law, it causes it's a because like fake Israelite groups is trying to say, see, kingdom about law, statutes, and commandments, but they don't put nothing in it that you can see. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That you can actually visualize and shit. They don't do that. They leave that part out.
Right.
They just say it's law, statutes, and commandments. It's just like like so they become some type of cliche or something like that.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, law, statutes, commandments. The law, statutes, commandments. But they're not keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and they're not breaking down. You know how everything is. You know, that's why I wanted. That's why I chose this topic. You know what I'm saying? So now we can see, like the time of King Solomon and King David, you can see the manifestation of them keeping the law, statutes, commandments. You can see how having the wisdom that King Solomon had, people came from all over the earth to get it. You know what I'm saying? Because that became, all of his wisdom became a byproduct of him keeping them. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord endowed him with wisdom and knowledge and stuff to where things that would be virtue behind it. You know what I'm saying? There will be a lot of virtue going.
Yeah, because it. So the visual part will be once Christ comes back.
Well, we're gonna go into the visual part right now. That's why I wanted to get back onto this topic real quick.
Oh, okay.
We get into the visual part. As a matter of fact, hell, we can go right back to where I started out last week. As a matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 60. Let's go there. Let's go to the visual part. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that. Isaiah 60 and 1.
Isaiah 60 verse 1. Arise, shine, for the light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee.
See this? It sounds so spiritual, don't it? You hear me?
You said it sounds.
It sounds so spiritual, right? Only like it's only spiritual.
Right.
We get ready to go. Yeah, it's both. We got to always look at things from the manifold perspective. What's in the supernatural going to the natural. You see what I'm saying? Let's go.
For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
How was his glory seen upon us in ancient Egypt? When all the ancient Egypt came with all their gold and their pearls and all of that stuff, and that was tangible stuff that you could like grab with your hands. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising.
Then I said, and kings shall come to the brightness of our rising. That sounds like something that's, you know what I'm saying, it's just not some floating spiritual stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Kings shall come to the brightness of thy rising. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Kings with much riches coming from all over the earth. That means we have global respect. You see what I'm saying? Global respect. But not only that, but they will fear us globally. So much so to the point that kings will come up to present themselves. You see what I'm saying? Gotcha. Let's keep reading.
Lift up thine eyes round about and see all thy greater themselves.
All they gather themselves.
All thy gather themselves together.
They come to thee.
They come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side.
Go ahead.
Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee.
What is the forces of the Gentiles? And from the sea, coming from the sea.
The forces of the Gentiles coming
from the sea.
Means the Gentiles will come from over the sea. Well, come from afar, basically.
No.
No?
It says the forces of the Gentiles. What's the forces of the Gentiles?
The soldiers.
No. The riches.
The forces? That means riches?
Yeah. Read it. Let's keep reading. Oh, that soldiers just gonna come to us with nothing in their hand. It's gonna be men. All right. What the hell we got for them for?
The multitude of camels shall cover
now
thee.
You start to see. What camels used for?
To travel.
Yes.
Hold on one sec.
You know, to transport things too.
Mhm.
Transport goods on camels, right?
Right.
Now think about it. You know what I'm saying? When it talks about the forces of the sea, what is carried across the sea? Cargo.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Riches are transported over the sea, and it said it shall be converted unto us.
Hold on one sec. We about to get to you in a sec. We about to get to you 1 second. He almost done with the brother. He's answering the other brother's question.
You see what I'm saying?
That's the guy who was on the chat. Comments.
Ain't just a bunch of goddamn dudes. What the hell we got use for them for? A bunch of goddamn dudes just coming across the sea. You know what I'm saying? They better be goddamn bringing something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Bunch of heathen dudes. You know what I'm saying? Just coming over. What the hell? Like, what, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Let's keep reading with that scripture.
Okay. The dormities of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and increase.
Now, there you go. Now, when them soldiers are bringing gold and increase, they don't need to be coming by their damn self, do they? What are they bringing? Gold. You see what I'm saying? They bringing gold, and gold is valuable, right?
Right.
Now we're seeing what with the sea it being converted unto us. Now we see what that's about. You see what I'm saying?
Right. It's a metaphor.
Right.
Right. This is the guy. He was called.
Okay.
If you want to talk to him.
Okay. Let me finish this right quick. Shall bring gold and incense. Incense. People like incense. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's valuable that people like.
Right.
They want to buy. You know what I'm saying? And we'll have it. So what does that mean? We're going to be rich. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And that's just okay. We can go on with that brother's question right quick.
I think he can hear you. Can you hear him, brother? Hello.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Can you hear the teacher?
Yeah, I can't hear. Yeah, I can hear him, but it's a lag on it. I'm watching him on Facebook right now. I'm watching him on the live.
It'd probably be better if you just use only your phone, so it won't be a lag.
All right.
You just talk like a conversation on the phone, but we can hear you, so you can go ahead and ask your question.
The question I want to ask, the question, yeah, I can hear him.
Yeah, he's right here. He's listening.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. So look, the question I want to ask, right, is how do you justify the mass disenfranchisation of a people through religion the way you're doing it?
Well, let me ask you a question.
Right.
You worried about how we disenfranchising them?
Right.
And we're not disenfranchising them right now, are we? They've been disenfranchising us for 400 years, right?
No, right.
So now here's the thing. If they disenfranchised us for 400 years, how would they pay us back?
How would they pay us back for disenfranchising us? By they haven't paid us back yet. They're still enslaving us, and they're still doing that through the religion that you guys are.
No, we're not doing it through religion. We're doing it through right and wrong.
Excuse me?
Yes, through right and wrong. Like the young man said, justice. That's how we're doing it. Right and wrong. Give me a second, boy. Now, say for instance, if I stole your wallet, right? And you had money in your wallet. And I spent all your money that was in your wallet. How would I pay you back?
What do you mean? I mean, what is the context of this question?
Come on, brother. I mean, that's simple. If you had $500 in your wallet, and I stole your wallet, and I spent all your money that was in your wallet, how would I pay you back?
You can't, because you spent all the money.
No. Here's the thing. For one thing, I got to give you your wallet, and I got to give you the $500. You know what I'm saying? back.
Yeah, but
also.
if your intentions was to take initially, what are you giving back for? If your intentions were to take, only thing you're going to do is you're going to put up a facade to make it seem like you're giving back, but you're actually not giving it back. You're going to put up a facade, that's what the Bible is. It's a facade to make it seem like, hey, yeah, okay, we'll tell you guys a whole bunch of fairy tales about yourselves, and that's retribution for what we did to you. But that's not actually retribution. That's just a facade they put up so that they keep us blind, so that we don't unite together.
Brother, I mean, this is common sense, brother. Brother, this is common sense.
No, it's not common sense.
I took something from you.
You can't relate.
I took something from you, and I give it back, brother. That's common sense.
You have no common sense.
You don't need a religion for that.
If you're a religious man, you have no common sense. Because religion is all.
Brother, that was just plain as day, and you couldn't even answer that question. I asked you a question. If I took $500 from you and spent all the goddamn money, you know what I'm saying, and had your wallet and everything too, I gotta pay back every damn thing I stole. That's common sense. It's not a religion.
How? Well, why would you? If you had the intentions on taking from me, why would you give it back? What would make you want to give? What would make you say have a change of heart to say, okay, yeah, I want to get this back to this man?
Well, let me tell you something. Morals will probably cause a person to be like, man, I was messed up behind that, man. See, that's one thing that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians do have the possibility to have. Be like, man, I said I stole from this brother, and then his conscience get on. So he's like, man, I gotta do something to make this stuff right, man. I stole that $500 from that brother, man. I'm like, I got to do something. Well, I'm gonna work overtime and everything. I'm gonna take care of my bills. I'm gonna give this brother his money back, man. I'm like, then he come through like, brother, here, man. I took that money from you. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Whatever extra tax you put on a nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'll pay that too.
But how does that relate to?
That's called morals.
How does that relate?
That's called morals.
The question I ask is, how do you continue to preach a religion that has disenfranchised the people for many and many generations?
What religion is that?
You haven't answered that.
What religion are we preaching?
The Israelites, Hebrew, the Bible, it's all a religion. All of it is a religion. Everything
been imposed on our people for 400 years. Is that what you're saying?
It's a religion. Yes, it's a religion. Listen.
What's the favorite food of the Christian church? What's the favorite meat? Can you tell me that? Can you tell me what the favorite meat is in Christianity?
The favorite what?
Meat. Food. Meat.
Meat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a Christian, and I don't follow that cult, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, you just mentioned about the Bible and everything, right?
Listen. The Bible is merely history. It's his story. It's a whole bunch of men.
You got to prove what you're saying. Because here's the thing.
What you're saying. No. That's the thing. What you got.
The favorite food of any religion that spawned out of Christianity is pork. But the Bible condemns pork.
What do you want me to prove?
The Bible says pork is an abomination.
Yeah, the Bible.
So how the hell are they the same?
Okay, do you understand? The Bible was written in Hebrew, and Hebrew is just Yiddish and German mixed together. You understand that, right?
Okay. What book do you learn your knowledge from? What books did you learn your vast knowledge from?
Not just from the Bible. I did not.
Not just from the Bible, but you read the Bible, right?
No, not just. Yes, I read the Bible. Yes, I have.
Okay, and you do incorporate some of the knowledge that's in the Bible, don't you?
I do not. I don't incorporate my life with the Bible.
Well, why'd you waste your time, then? Why'd you waste your time?
Why did I waste my time with what?
With the Bible. What book? You got to have some vast knowledge. You got to have some vast knowledge coming from some books that you read.
Look, listen.
You got to have something.
We have to understand.
So you pull this all out of your own hat?
Yeah, we're not superior. We're not superior beings. We have to break that mentality that we're not superior beings ourselves. We are. The entire creation, everything that's created, we created that. The thoughts, the religions that we follow are thoughts of man. They're merely thoughts of man.
Where does your knowledge come from, brother?
Come again?
Where does your knowledge come from?
My knowledge comes from a wide expanse of traveling and doing research. That's what it comes from.
Oh, really? So you just traveled the land, didn't run across no people that told you anything, and you just learned everything by traveling the land.
No. See, listen. You learn by traveling. You learn the truth when you move out. If you're stuck in one position, you only know what you see.
Brother, okay, So you saying that you didn't run across no people that told you anything, and you just went traveling across the desert, you know what I'm saying? You know, across the desert and just learned and got all of this vast knowledge.
No.
Who did you learn from, brother? Come on, you hiding them obviously because you know I'm gonna cut the hell out of them once you expose them.
I'm telling you, listen. I'm telling you, the way I learned is by going out seeking knowledge, not by listening, not by.
By who? By who? You gotta learn some stuff from some men.
Okay, but you're learning.
Wait, you learn from animals that can't talk.
You're learning
Is that what you're saying?
Book of men who've been dead for thousands of years.
You learn from the sea.
Book of men who've been dead for thousands of years.
You learn from the jungle. Oh, you learn from men that was dead for thousands of years, and they rose back from the dead and taught you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro.
They rose from the dead and taught you from thousands of years ago?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? I'm going to ask you again. You learned from men that taught you, and they've been dead for thousands of years. They woke from the grave and came to, what's his brother's name?
I don't know his name.
Whatever your name is.
No. I'm saying your knowledge comes from men. Your knowledge comes from a book written by men that have been dead for thousands of years, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that your knowledge, where did your knowledge come from? I asked you that question. You still haven't given me an answer.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't let me answer it. You wouldn't let me answer. You kept on interrupting me.
Okay, go ahead. Keep it. I want to hear this.
My knowledge comes from actually traveling and getting out there and seeing things for myself. Like the whole Christianity thing. When you go out there and actually to understand where Christianity come from, the Crusades, and how Christianity came to be, how it actually invented itself. Christianity was merely a cult that expanded into what it is, just like what Islam is today. It's the same thing. If you get out there,
what men did you run across, brother?
Come again?
What men did you run across to teach you anything?
What? Okay. Why do I? Okay. Let's base something off of your. Let's base something out of your Bible, right? Why would I put my faith in a man? Why would I put my faith and knowledge in a man or whatever he said?
What did you learn from, brother? Okay, you did. Okay, I understand. You didn't learn from men. I understand that. All right. I understand. You didn't learn from men. Okay, I get that. I get that, brother. You learned from traveling.
Listen.
What did you do? Did you bite the peyote? Did you bite the peyote and then was enlightened? What happened? Share it with us.
You sound like a brother who's losing a fight and you don't want to give up.
Brother, you learned from you said you didn't learn from men, right?
Listen, I learned from.
Okay, fine. Okay, give me a second, brother. You said you didn't learn from men. All right. You said you learned by traveling.
I learned from men.
You learned from traveling, right?
I learned from.
What did you run across that taught you?
Come again?
You said you didn't learn from men?
No.
Okay.
I learned from.
You said you learned from traveling. Let me give me a second. You said you learned from traveling. What did you run across that taught you?
That what?
What did you run across that taught you?
That taught me.
Yes.
The different books, like the Quran, reading the Bible.
And they were written by who? They're old. Oh.
Yeah.
What was the Quran? Who was the Quran written by? Was it written by men?
Yeah. Listen, let me tell you something. It's written by men. That's where you find what I'm saying. If you read the Bible,
come on, man.
It's fake. This is what I'm saying. This is what
he said he got the knowledge from the Bible and from the Quran and from all these different books.
Right.
But then he's like, you guys can't read this book written by men. You cut yourself, man.
Yeah.
You stabbed yourself.
All your books was written by men. Look at the what does it say what does it say when you go to the front of the book? When you talk about the author face. Yeah. Go to the preface. Go to the preface and see whether your books are written by men or not. Go to the preface of your book and see whether it's written by men or not.
Come again?
Go to the preface of your books that you read and see if it's a man's name on the damn book.
Yes, okay, see, that's what I'm saying, brother, listen, what you're doing right now, you're overclapping what I'm trying to say. You're not allowing what I'm trying to say to come out. Okay?
I think he's saying the conclusion of everything he got when he read it. He's saying that stuff is BS based on all the stuff that he read. That's what
You're not allowing me to say
He
what
said
I'm
he got
what
his
I'm saying.
knowledge
You
from
keep
that.
on overcrowding my thought, overcrowding my words.
Then we asked him
You're
where
not
he
allowing me
gets
to
the knowledge from. He said
finish
he's
my
traveling.
thought.
Right.
He said he read certain
I got-
books.
I got-
Yeah.
Go ahead. What's your question?
My question for him would be is, if he said the Bible is a history
Okay,
book,
you might be. You want him?
Can you hear the other brother talking?
Yeah, ask you just speak.
I got a
loud so
question.
he can hear
I can hear him. Yeah.
you said that if the Bible's a history book, how would you say it's a myth, or how is it falsified if you said it's a history book?
The way it's falsified.
Say it again.
You said how is it falsified if it's a history book?
Yeah, if you said if it's history but it's not real, how can you say it's a part of history if it's not real?
Yes, because history is just his story. It's
Okay.
the story of a bunch of men who's been dead for thousands of
So
years.
you saying
Yes,
okay?
So the men who was there wrote down what was happening when they was there, and
he didn't-
you can't
they-
believe
they
that
didn't
because
write
you have
that.
some greater
They
source.
didn't write it. They didn't write it. They didn't.
You
Nobody
said it's
inscribed
his
those books
story,
themselves.
so it got to be the
story
men
that's
who's
been passed
there. Their
down
story.
throughout the generations, and we're so stuck on them. They have not. Nobody actually sat down and wrote those things. These are stories that's been passed down. They put it in a book, and now we're
But
so
you just
wrapped up
said
on that
nobody
we can't
wrote
see
them.
past
I'm
it.
about to cook this guy.
Golly.
You can give an example to where in his
Oh
you
my
can
goodness.
you
There
can
was
go
no
through history
man,
and see.
There was no Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John who actually sat down next to Jesus and said, "I wrote this."
And
These
you
are
know this
very
how?
stories from man.
And you know this how? How do you know this?
You guys, y'all know who Charles Dickens is? Do y'all know anything about literature? This
Ain't
is
he
the
a
greatest
man?
literature in the world.
Ain't he a man?
Literature that's spoken in
You
the
shouldn't
world.
believe him because he's a man, right?
Now, what are you talking about, bro? You're running.
No, come on, man. You don't believe nothing that comes from men? Then Charles
talking
Dickens,
about?
what his name?
That's your
Charles
logic.
Dickens.
Yeah, Charles Dickens. Then you shouldn't believe him either.
Yes, Charles Dickens is another man who, he's a literature man, just like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and so-called Jesus. They're all literature men. Yes, that's what I was saying. If you let our thoughts come out and understand what I'm saying.
Where did you learn from? That's what I still want to know. You still ain't cleared that up. You said I just learned from traveling. Plenty of people travel and don't learn nothing.
I said
you got to run across people in your travels. You just can't be traveling.
Right.
You're gonna go. What you sail the Sahara, and then all of a sudden you like passed out or something, and all of this knowledge was imputed to you. Who did you learn from?
Okay.
Or what did you learn from?
Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Okay, without interrupting me. Okay. I learned through traveling, reading different scriptures, different books and things like that, and realizing that all of this is just a construct made to keep the indigenous people of this planet enslaved and blind to the fact that we need to stand up and take it back. That's where it came from.
Okay. How did you learn the freedom method to free you from that?
What?
How did you learn the freedom method to free you from the people that were trying to enslave the indigenous people? Because obviously, the way you're speaking, you got a program to free us, right? How did you learn that?
How did I learn the program of freedom?
Yes.
The program of freedom is also another. We are all free. The minute we're born, we're free. So that's the program itself.
Really?
The program of freedom itself.
What is you?
We're all free. And that's the reason, for all the abortions, right? Because we're all free, right? Well, the child that was aborted out of the womb didn't have no freedom. He didn't have freedom of choice of whether he wanted to live or die. His only choice was to die.
We all have freedom. We allow man to take our freedom away from us. What are you talking about?
Well, how the hell can he fight against the goddamn? How the hell can he fight it? How can he fight it? How can a child that's unborn in the womb fight it?
How can he fight it?
Yeah.
By growing up and learning. That's how you fight it.
How are you going to grow up if somebody sat there killing you from the womb? How you going to grow up?
You are free from the womb. You're free from the womb. Even before the womb. If they can't enslave you inside the womb, how can they enslave you outside the womb?
Brother, listen. They are killing children from the womb. You can't defend yourself inside the womb.
Listen, oh my goodness.
You ever seen a newborn baby get up and start fighting and start kicking doctors' asses and shit?
That's their vessel's choice. That's their vessel's
choice. That's his choice.
I'm not talking
about. It's a child's choice.
That's the vessel. Listen, I said the vessel. The vessel is not the child. The vessel is the mother carrying the child. It's the vessel's choice.
It's not on.
abortion.
Okay, now listen. You have to understand. Obviously, you are out of touch with the concept of oppression. Obviously, and you're under oppression yourself. And you still out of touch.
If you're still a religious person, you're out of touch with the concept of oppression. Oppression, the religion. Look, matter of fact, please do this for me. Look up the definition of religion. Look up the definition of religion. It breaks down into two parts. Look it up.
I believe in nothing.
Look up the definition of religion.
Right.
It breaks down into two separate parts.
And everything all at the same time.
So what do you subscribe? What belief system do you subscribe to? Or what?
That sounds like a God, ain't it? Ain't that what your God is?
No, it's
Everything
not.
and nothing at the same time?
No, it's an ideology. Like, what do you? If you say we should have freedom, freedom is a concept that you have to believe in something, or it's a system that you have to believe in. Just like every system have morals, they have right or wrong.
Absolutely.
How do you define that?
If that's world, knowing that you are free, not allowing anybody to constrain you from your freedom, then you're not bound to that trait that thing that we chase as freedom. You're not bound to that if you already know that you're a free man. Why would you chase freedom if you already know that you're free?
How do you define freedom? Because freedom ain't freedom. The same freedom ain't universal. So what's your definition of freedom?
The definition of freedom is being able to breathe about breathing. You would do what I please and move about as I please. That's the definition of freedom, and not being oppressed by somebody just because of the way they feel about me. That's the definition of freedom.
But everybody don't have that same definition.
Okay, everybody. There's multiple definitions of it. Okay, what's your definition of freedom?
So okay, my definition of freedom would be different from your definition, but you want me to I have the liberty and the freedom to say my freedom is oppressing you or overcoming you, but you telling me everybody should have their own freedom to not be oppressed by me. So you can't put your freedom, your ideology of what freedom is on me. So you have to subscribe to something, have a divine order for somebody to say, hey, this is what freedom is. You have to have a standard. Something that you stand on. If you just saying, well, it's what I believe, then everybody can just say, oh, that's called autonomy. Everybody can just go based on what they believe is freedom or what they believe is true.
My brother.
So you can't.
What I just explained to you is the pure definition of freedom. Anybody can think what they want to think. That's a pure definition of freedom. What you're doing right now is by giving people, okay, well, hey, we have to generalize this. Where's the basis to say this is freedom? By doing that, it's taking away people's freedom.
But you just said we have our freedom. We have our own freedom to think how we want to think.
That's our freedom.
So why are you trying to take away our freedom?
Right. Let me tell you something.
Why are you trying to take away our freedom? Because I'm really about to clip you because class is over.
The natural laws. You understand natural laws? You understand what the natural laws are?
Where do I read that? Where I read about natural laws at?
Do you understand natural laws?
Where do I read about natural laws at? Where do I read about the natural laws at? Where do I read about the natural laws at?
What?
Where do I read about the natural laws?
Nature. The natural law is nature. The natural law, don't hurt anybody and don't cause any harm to any property.
Where do you get that from?
That's nature.
Because nature always hurting each other. Them damn lions is hurting the hell out of each other. The tigers is killing. The crocodiles is smashing and eating and robbing. So what do you mean don't hurt each other? That's not in nature. Obviously, you was wrong in your travels because nature teach you the exact opposite. Nature teach you the law of the jungle. You got to take what you can take.
Right.
Exactly, man. You don't know what you're talking about. If I go off your lodge, you're going to go out there and get eaten up by a lion. Instead of killing the lion for my damn self and killing the pig, killing the cow and eating it for a hamburger. I let the animals kill me.
I bet he's a vegan. You're a vegan too, ain't you, Warrior? Ain't you a vegan?
Yeah, you gotta be a vegan.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to hurt nothing.
But you cross-reference to the animals.
You said it's nature. You said, I said, how do you find out the laws of nature? You said through nature. And you said it's all peace. And I pulled out multiple examples how nature is not all peace. It's very violent and it's very oppressive. Right. And it's a prey and predator relationships.
Right.
Let me break down what I meant by nature. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because that first one didn't make sense. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Let me break down what I meant by nature. Let me break down what I meant by nature.
These guys.
By nature, man is not violent. by nature. When we are born, we are not violent.
Where do you find that out?
We are not violent.
Where you find that out?
By nature.
Because babies kicking in the womb all damn day.
Why you think babies is born with their fist balled up?
That's the environment they're in. That's them moving.
Why you think babies is born with their fist balled up?
Come on, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah. How come if you leave 10-year-olds in the room by themselves, they're gonna start fighting?
Right.
How come if you leave children in the room by themselves, unsupervised, they'll start fighting?
Right. And they could be 3 and one hits one with a Tonka toy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, you've been proving that you don't know what the hell you're talking about like 3-4 times now, man. You need to come to the school. Come into class, man.
Right.
Come up here. I said, how come if you said children are born peaceful, how come if I put 10 kids in a room by themselves, they'll start fighting?
Yes, I said they are born that way. We are taught everything else. We are born good natured. We are taught everything.
But what's good?
Yeah.
How do you define good?
So yes, of course, yes, you will leave 10 children in a room. It's because through TV,
Well, we about to end it.
Tell him to come up here, bro.
Yeah, come up here. Come up here, because kids always fighting. So they ain't learning that. Where they learn that from? Babies is fighting. Babies is smacking and kicking and biting.
We are good natured at birth. We know only good.
How do you define good?
Yeah, and where you learn that shit from?
So he's saying
How
even
you
a white
define
man is
good?
by nature. Ain't that what he's saying?
How
too?
do you define good? What's your
The
definition of
oppressor, he's saying
good?
the
That's
oppressor is
morals.
good too.
Everybody's good ain't the same. So that might not be good to everybody else. What's good? What do you define as good?
Okay, okay, let me define good from birth. Let's define good from birth. Good from birth is finding nipple as soon as you come out. You already know what the nipple is. That's good, right? Because you receive the nutrients and everything that you need. That's good, right? That's good nature, right? Good is knowing who your mother is. Well, coming out, knowing. You know that heartbeat. You know that smell because you already been used to it for them 9 months. Matter of fact, it's actually more like 10 months. We don't count for the month that it takes for that baby to develop. Okay? So now during that time, we are good natured people. We're good natured people. It's not until there's some neglect. Maybe there's not enough care, not enough love that child witnessed, that child needs to witness. And then he grows up. He learns bad things. He learns these bad ways. He learns how to lie.
Why did the 3-year-old hit the other 3-year-old with the toy?
Right.
They learn to hit.
You talk
Little
about
kids, they learn to hit. That's one of the first things they learn to hit. That they learn to do is how to hit. You know what I'm saying?
You
They
talk.
go, boom.
You talk
And
about.
then you gotta tell them no, don't. You know what I'm saying?
You teach a child to hug first. I guarantee you that child will hug first.
But you talk about nature versus nurture. Everybody don't grow up in the same environment. Everybody don't like.
Listen, you're trying to once again. What you're doing is you sound like a wounded animal who doesn't want to give up. You understand where it's coming from, but you don't want to realize it yourself.
But you just said.
You just said a
You
baby
said-
sucking on a nipple, which they have no choice to do because they need it. That's just like survival. When the baby grows up, the baby has no choice but to grow up. And as it grows up, it's gonna do wickedly. That's in the scriptures. A baby is gonna get into mischief. They're gonna break things. They're gonna break toys. They're gonna touch stuff they're not supposed to touch. They're gonna hit other kids. That is normal. That is natural. That's gonna happen regardless of what you teach the child. That's gonna happen regardless of what you teach the child. The child is gonna get into things it's not supposed to do. It's gonna take toys. The child's not gonna want to share. The child's not gonna want to. It's gonna throw food everywhere. It's going to do that naturally. So throwing food everywhere is good, huh? Baby's going to do that naturally. You don't have to teach it to throw food or playing in food. It's going to do that by itself.
I said nature versus nurture. You don't understand the difference.
Right.
So the baby's just going to pick up a spoon and start eating the soup, huh? And start eating food. It ain't going to play in the food at all. If you what? You said it's natural. It's going to do it by itself. You said it's going to do it by itself. You said it's naturally good. So yeah, bro, you cut, man. You cut.
Hey,
You just said the baby can come up here, man. You cut. You just said the baby is naturally good. It's gonna do it all by itself. You said the baby's gonna do it by itself because it's good.
When you put that food in front of him, the first thing he's going to probably do is try to eat it. Which most things you do, try to put it in his mouth. And if it tastes good, that baby ain't throwing that food. He's going to eat it.
So I got a question. What is the baby gonna do? Let's say we go back in the day. What is the baby gonna do when the enemy comes and tries to kill it or kill his family?
The baby?
Yeah. What is he going to learn to do? What is he going to learn to do?
How the fuck is the baby gonna do anything?
You just said the baby's going to learn, right? What would it learn to do if somebody's trying to kill it or kill his family?
You guys remember when I said common sense? You said you want
I got a call coming in. You don't know what you're talking about, brother. The baby's going to learn to defend his nation. The baby's going to learn to stand up and be strong. The baby's going to learn that the white man's the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Man,
Let's do the last prayers and close it out. We passed the time.
Yeah, this guy, I think we probably spent too much time on this
Yeah,
fucking guy.
Francisco's calling. Let me get Francisco. Let's do the last prayers.
Okay.
Just the Lord's prayer. The Lord's prayer, and then we got the radio show coming on.
Okay.
GEN.YAHANNA.
Now.
Abanawa.
Oh shit. One hockey down, rise base east. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Dash.
Dash.
Haya.
Haya.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Ya'awa.
Malawaka.
Malawaka.
Taba'a.
Taba'a.
Watazaka.
Zawaka. Say again.
Watazaka.
Watazaka.
Haya.
Haya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Baharataza.
Baharataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Haya.
Haya.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Dananawa.
Tananawa.
Come.
Come.
Call.
Call.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalak now.
Wasalak now.
Kawafi now.
Yawafi now.
Kasalak now.
Kasalak now.
Kawafi now.
Kawafi now.
Wala ah.
Yawa'a.
Tabaya now.
Yawa'a now.
Wanasai one.
Yawa'a.
Abal.
About.
Our shy now.
Our Shah now.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Amalakwa.
Malak.
Wa Allah.
Ya'ala.
Watapar.
Watapar.
Lawalayim.
Yawalayim.
Aman.
Aman.
In the English. Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven.
which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
The kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
That will be done.
In earth
In earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily
our
bread.
daily bread.
And forgive us of our debts
Forgive us our debt
as we forgive our
as
debtors.
we forget our debt.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from
but
evil.
deliver us from
For
evil.
thine is the kingdom
Thine is the kingdom
and the power
and the power
and the glory
and the glory
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Saw. He's turned. Curtis says salute to the teacher. Mar Shabbat. Majib. Barak. Yahweh Bashim al Shabrak with your right hand warrior. Yahweh Bashim al Shabrak thumb.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatham.
Yeah, say Barakatah.
Barakatah.
Okay. Yazmatah. Curtis says salute to the sister. Mar Shabbat. Majim, Barak, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamar,
Shamar,
Atah,
Atah,
Bashem,
Bashem,
Yahweh Shah,
Yahweh Shah.
Yazmatah. Class dismissed. Yeah, I think we just spent a little too much time on that fella.
Man, it's
You know how to stop that war?
what?
To stop the air, stop it from.
Oh, the online.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You don't know something called circular reason? You use your reason against, like, how can you say it's like what freedom is? You have your definition of freedom, but if I say my definition of freedom is putting you in slavery, I should have the freedom to put you in slavery. But then you say, oh no, freedom is allowing everybody to do what they want.
Right.
Based on what? You don't have no basis for your definition.
Right.
That
right.
means you can come up with your own definition of freedom, own definition of good, own definition.
Yeah,
How can you tell me
and
I'm
that's what
wrong?
he's doing.
That's what I was trying to get him to understand. I'm like, bro, you can't do that. And then you say it's natural for it to do it, but when we grow up, our parents we are nurtured. They have something to do with how we come out. But
Right.
you can't say, oh, we bad because of this, we bad because them. Like, it's everybody grows up in a different environment and under different circumstances. So you can't use your own. You have to have something, ground to stand on, a base, a belief.
Right.
You have to have a higher power, something
Right.
that created.
He didn't want to say what his was.
Right. I'm like, you're not
You know what I'm
gonna.
saying?
Yeah, he don't.
He was dancing and
He was
dancing
going
around and this shit. and Huckabucket and you know what I'm
He
saying?
believed he one of them Egypt dudes.
Right,
I know it. I know
Shit.
for a fact.
You need to be on the radio show with us sometime.
Oh yeah, I definitely will be.
You know what I'm saying?
I will, cause
Shit, do I have your number?
I'm free at night now. I'm coming. I'm be here. all the time.
Okay. Need your phone number though.
Yeah, I
Let
still
you
got
know
your
when we
number.
going. Oh, okay.
Yep, I still got your number.
And your name is
Tyran.
Tyrant. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and call my phone. Got my number. Go ahead and call my phone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get into the do the little radio show with us. That'd be cool. That'd be a pretty good little deal right there.
Yeah, I just texted you. But yeah. He one of them Egypt dudes because I used to like before I even believed like I was coming out of Christianity, before I even heard about being an Israelite or anything of that nature, I would go back and forth with the Egypt dudes. But I wouldn't. One of my tactics was I wouldn't tell them what I believed in because they'd go straight to trying to dismantle what I believe. But I wanted them to answer a question because when you like, for instance, if you watch the debate between Kemet and the I.S.U.P.K. when Tazariot, when they go against them, they always say, "Well, your book." You ask them a question about what they believe, and they'll always come back to the Bible. He's like, "No, I'm asking you a question specifically directed towards what you believe to show how when you try to apply it towards me, you don't apply it to what you believe in, or what you're saying can be disproven. Your books and everything and your logic's been disproven. You don't want that. You just want to bang on what I believe and tell me I'm wrong."
Right, exactly.
Because
but he ain't got a lick of proof.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To show
that, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm like, bro, you can't do that, bro.
I was still trying to deal with him. He didn't want to answer the questions. So I pretty much left him alone when he didn't want to answer the question of where did he get his knowledge from? Just traveling.
You can't give a vague answer like that.
Yeah,
anything you learn from it. So if you trying to tell me, oh, this is wrong, or somebody had to teach you that this was wrong,
right?
Like you can't just say, because even when I heard that, like, this is all just something to trap us, and we learn by it's just all to assert power over a certain people. Religions create. You learn that from somebody. You just don't grow up one day, This like slaves didn't just say this Bible was just this. I read this Bible. It just looked like it was just created just to control us. Nobody ever said that. You had to be taught that understanding. Yeah, exactly. Somebody try to disprove that and then get you to believe something else.
Right.
Or you feel me? That's how you get there. But he didn't want to go into that.
Right.
Like you get cut.
Yeah, he just kept getting smashed and smacked around and shit.
Yeah.
It became a point eventually where it wasn't even fun no more. I'm like, man, this dude, you know what I'm saying?
That's why like if when I deal with people, like I just cut them at their root, because I know what they going there. Like they ask a question about the Bible, but like I don't even go into like that. I just like you trying to deal with logic, nature, science, history. I'm like, all right, if you don't believe the people in the Bible exist, you believe in the Egyptians, right? So you believe what's on the pyramid. How you know who wrote them on the pyramid? You say, oh, the ancient Egyptians. How you know somebody else didn't come right and saying they was the Egyptians? How you know the Egyptians was telling the truth? You can't you use your logic saying, oh, this was BS. Well, I can go and say that's BS too, because you don't know them people. Right. You don't know exactly who. You can just find bones and say this is King Tut. You don't know if that was actually King
exactly.
Tut. You can't do that. Like
the Egyptians were so proud. You know what I'm saying? They wiped us out of their whole fucking, like we never was even there.
Right.
They struck us out of history.
Right. And one of the things he said when he was reading the chat, he said we've been here. We were the first people on earth, and we created everything. And that's why I'm like, you one of Egypt dudes, because that's what y'all bang. Like their whole premise is being the first, being the best, and being the most dominant. It's not even about physically or what we built or what we had. It's not about that, because the Bible don't glorify the man, what man makes or what man. It's more about who we are as a people, what our instructions are. Following God and keeping that. But y'all bang on, oh, we the first. Yeah. It ain't about that.
They're not even a fucking first.
It ain't about that.
I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? They act like Egypt was the beginning of all people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shit like that.
Just because you got
Sodom and Gomorrah before fucking Egypt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it was people smarter than them. And it's even said that Egyptians didn't even build the pyramids. Like they was there way before.
The Negroes built it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's what I'm like. Y'all bang on. Oh, we was the smartest. We had the best diet. We had the best health. That don't matter. But y'all was morally corrupt. Y'all homosexuality,
Right.
Pedophilia.
Right.
Y'all sacrifice
Incest,
babies, incest.
all of that shit.
I was like, so
yeah.
that's like America. I'm like, Egypt and Rome is like America today. We got
Yeah.
the best technology, the best buildings, but our morals is off. People are getting killed, stolen, sex trafficking, prostitution. Like, we got the nicest stuff, but our society is corrupt. So how can you bang on? Oh, we got good health. We got the big, tall buildings. Okay.
Right.
Okay. What that mean? If the
Right.
people suffering, what good is that stuff?
Yeah.
You feel me? That's what they don't get. They just
Well, they didn't have no solution for them rivers turning into blood.
man.
You know what I'm saying? They have no solution for that.
Right, and that's what people don't get. Like when you seek truth, they seek it just for. Some people do it for pride, and they just want to be the first, so they just want to. Oh, we were kings. I was a king, but it's not about that. It's about what is right for you. Like when I seek truth, what does God want for it? What does God want for me? What do He want me to do? What's my purpose? What should I look for? What should I have pride in? I shouldn't have pride in this materialistic of being first or being Like I have pride about being God's chosen people and about keeping His laws.
Right.
And
they don't like that kind of pride.
Doing right. Doing what's morally right. I don't want to be seen. Oh well, I'm not gonna eat pork. That's what you should be happy about. Doing the will of God.
Right.
Not just I got all this. That's being. I got these cars and we was the first to show off.
Right.
Oh,
yeah. I mean shit, but it's not doing them too much good now. You know shit, because the motherfucking Egypt dudes, they worship all of Africa. But they just look at, they look at Egypt as being like the goddamn, New York of Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's where they look at it. Egypt is being the New York of Africa, and they worship all Africa. When Africa is down into fucking rubble, you know what I'm saying? And they gotta make alliances with other nations and shit like that just to even trying to get themselves back up on the fucking world stage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. I talked to plenty of people like him, bro. He just in a spot where he think he learned something, and he's just like trying to use a reasoning or trying